welcome back to Mini Farm SM1. Today I'm going to take you out to my celadon quail. They are the blue egg layers of the Cuties group and they are absolutely wonderful. I thought we'd swing past some baby bunnies just because, why not? Let's see if I can find them. Two little black babies, so sweet. And then Mama is a blue grey bunny over here. She's still a bit of a nervous Mama, but she's sweet. Yeah. Elsa down the bottom is getting a bit jealous, so we better say hello to her before we finally head off. Hello Elsa, you want to say hi? She doesn't like being in a hutch. She was part of the big group in the rabbitry, in my colony group. She will be going back to a larger setting, but we had a few fox attacks, so I had to be extra careful. Okay, I'm just going to unlock the quail cage and I will take you in. Okay, here I am. I'm in my quail pen. So we've got some normal Cuties quail. These ones are the Italian. I mean normal as in normal egg layers. So this is a female. You can see by the spots on her chest. She is an Italian colouring Cuties quail. I love the Italians. They are so friendly. I found them to be the most friendly of sort of the colour variations of the Cuties quail. Much more handleable. When I hatched my celadon quail, I chose to hatch not only the celadon quail but also some of my own eggs, just to make it worthwhile in the incubation process. The electricity isn't cheap, even though I've got a good incubator. So I have got a little bit of a mixture. So I suspect this bird here is another normal egg layer, as it were. I don't actually know if this is a male or a female, so I'm going to have a quick look, if he will let me. See what I mean by the Italians and the other colours? They're just so much more friendly. This appears to be a hen. So another girl. Okay. So the celadon quail have slightly different colouring, I have found. So they are a little bit more obvious to pick out. The darker colour feathers and the very white patterning. This one, oh, that one's just flown over the fence. Not out of the cage, I've got a separate area. This one appears to be a hen, which is very good if that is correct. So they're very pretty. And again, they're quite friendly. Cuties quail aren't, you know, they've been domesticated for a very long time. So although they still have the flight reflex, and if you have that door open you will lose your birds, you know, they don't attack, they're not vicious, they will hide if they get the chance, but you know, they're friendly enough. Now this group of my Cuties quail, my celadon quail mixtures are, it's a group of 8. I believe I've got 2 roosters and the rest are hens, but that's still to show itself. They're only about 7 weeks old, and whilst Cuties quail tend to start laying between 6 and 8 weeks, and crowing for that matter, these guys seem to be a little bit slower on the uptake. So there's either more girls than boys, which would be perfect, and they're a bit shy, or yeah, all the boys are shy and they haven't started to crow yet. I'm just going to see if this bird will come back through. Decided to, so that's Aladdin's section over there. Well, I had to do a big move around because of the fox attack, so everyone's in different areas, but I don't want him spending too much time in quail poo. Obviously rabbits clean themselves by licking themselves, licking their fur, and I don't want him ingesting too much of the poop, so I've kept them separate for now at least. Well, that's all on the celadon quail. I'd now like you to meet some new additions. I acquired 2 new does, 2 new female rabbits. They're not Rexes, which is what I usually raise, but they are very cute and really friendly. So let's go over and see them. So these are the new arrivals. My daughter has named them Rose and Ella. So they are so sweet. As you can probably tell, they're not Rex rabbits like I said, but they are incredibly friendly and just typical pet bunnies. They really are. So yeah, I can't wait to see what babies they produce. I will be putting them with Maui, who is now ready to be a daddy. I'm not going to do it yet. I'm worried about another heat spike, which would just be disastrous. Everyone would end up stressed and I'd end up losing loads of babies, and I've lost more than enough rabbits this year, thank you. So there we go, introducing Rose and Ella. The trouble with quail is they can be quite mean to each other. I have wild birds flying in and out of the quail pens on a regular basis. I've tried putting netting up, I've tried deterring them, they still go in. The quail completely ignore them. You put in a quail that isn't usually part of the group, they're mean to that one new quail, or even a group of new quail. If you put 2 groups of quail together, they're often quite territorial. Now, this has meant that this little guy over here, who is pacing up and down the pen, if I can find him, he has ended up on his own. I will find him a home and get him in a group, but for now he's going to have to be on his own because he was attacking the others, the celadon quail, and I don't want them getting hurt. So I'd like to show you the celadon eggs. Celadon eggs, I believe celadon is the colour, and the quail themselves are just normal birds. They have a gene that means they produce an egg that is a different colour to what is considered the norm. They're quite pretty. I will show you some of the normal Coturnix quail eggs first, and then we'll have a look at the blue eggs. So, quite normal quail egg. They're kind of pretty. Every quail has their own pattern. So if you really know your birds, or you only have a few, you could pinpoint who lays what egg. So only one quail will have that particular pattern on the bottom. You see how they're different? It's a bit like their fingerprint, or our fingerprints I should say. This one has a lot more brown on it, and it's not poo, it's not dirt, it's just this particular quail produces this sort of patterning. Again, slightly different. So now on to the blue eggs. Mine have only just started laying, so I'm only getting a couple of eggs a day, but already I'm starting to see the pattern develop. But this is what they look like. Same size, same shape, generally same egg. Hatch in the same way, they taste the same if you were to eat them, but they are so much prettier in colour. Like I say, the celadon, so the blue egg gene, is just that. It's a genetic trait. The birds themselves can be any colour. So you can't just tell from the outside necessarily. The birds I show you, that you can see, there's the obvious, the Italian quail, and what I say is the obvious celadon quail. That doesn't mean that every bird of that colour will be blue egg layers, but because those colours are different from my current flock, I can tell that they are the celadon quail and that they are going to have the blue gene, the blue egg gene. So I know my birds from them, if that makes sense, but it's not their colouring that makes them the blue egg layers. But yes, so there you go. That's my my flock, my eggs, and you can probably hear the roosters in the background. So it's quite pretty, really. My neighbours actually thought it was just the natural wildlife making that noise, which was quite reassuring. I keep my numbers down. I do hatch, but I do keep my numbers down, especially on the roosters, because it drives me mad and I don't want anyone else getting annoyed. So anyway, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed meeting the quail and of course meeting Ella and Rose. And I will see you on the next video. Thank you for joining us today at Mini Farm SM1. Please like and share this video. Subscribe to the channel for videos weekly. We'll see you soon.